So it's very interesting to see the creative minds behind the project, but it's been tons of fun, and I think it's uniquely to me because it's a shoe that can do a lot. It's a versatile shoe.
Have you ever stopped to think about what privilege looks like in women's basketball? Let's take a closer look. Recently, A'ja Wilson celebrated a huge achievement with the launch of her signature Nike shoe, a major moment in her career. At the same time, Caitlin Clark, a player who's redefining the game as we watch, hasn't received similar recognition from the same big brand. It raises an important question. Why the difference?
Do you know the question for that? Do you know the answer for that?
We know that she is signed with Nike. We know she got screwed. And I mean that. We know she got absolutely screwed in that Nike deal.
Here's where it gets interesting. A'ja Wilson is being spotlighted in a major campaign celebrating success. But when playoff time rolled around, the results didn't match the hype, low ratings, and an early elimination. That's not what you'd expect from someone positioned as the face of the sport. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there shattering records, making history, and actively elevating the WNBA as a whole. One seems more centered on personal recognition, while the other is pushing for something greater and more meaningful.
A lot of hard work, but also a lot of fun, and I have an awesome team that is trying to put my weird words that I say into a shoe, which is great, because I'm like, I want the thing that goes the thing, and then they're like, okay, we got.
So who truly holds the privilege here, A'ja or Caitlin? In this video, we'll break down the striking differences between Wilson and Clark's Nike campaigns. We'll examine their contrasting messages and highlight why, even with Nike's questionable choices, Caitlin Clark continues to shine as a genuine role model, an inspiring figure, and a powerful brand ambassador. Ready to dig deeper? Let's jump in.
You're a signed athlete. If you're a signature athlete, it doesn't really matter how much money you make off your initial deal. All that really matters is how much money you are making from the shoes.
A'ja Wilson's Nike deal has turned into a marketing disaster that's hard to ignore. Remember the buzz around her signature shoe? Well, that excitement seems to have backfired, creating a mess Nike might regret for years. While the brand was pouring its energy into promoting Wilson, Caitlin Clark quietly took center stage, reshaping the narrative and leaving everyone talking about her instead.
Absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world are they ignoring her?
Nike is in full damage control, scrambling to fix a major misstep. They missed the chance to back the brightest star women's basketball has seen in years. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson, with her MVP trophies, still seems to believe she's the face of the game. But here's the truth. It's Caitlin Clark's time now, and everyone knows it. How bad is it? Nike is desperately trying to keep A'ja relevant, but it's too late. The moment has passed, and their efforts feel like a lost cause.
At this stage, it is just the company fumbling the bag in a generational.
And here's the shocking part. Word on the street is that Nike is holding off on giving Caitlin Clark her own shoe until 2026 because they're afraid of the backlash from putting her ahead of A'ja Wilson. Imagine being so concerned about sparing feelings that you delay celebrating one of the game's biggest stars. That's not just a missed opportunity, that's completely losing the plot.
Nike's Q2 earnings. CEO Elliot Hill indicates Caitlin's shoe will be coming for the 2020.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is rewriting history, packing arenas, and electrifying women's basketball like never before. She's landed an incredible $28 million, 8-year deal with Nike, but what's come of it? Nothing. No promotions, no signature shoe, no real recognition. And her fans? They're rightfully frustrated. Nike's big idea? Keep her waiting even longer. Makes sense, right? Not at all.
You can wear it's not a big man shoe, a big woman shoe. It's a shoe that it's going to be comfortable for everyone, and I hope everyone feels that. So I think it's uniquely to me because it is something it can adapt and adjust to anything. And I feel like
here's the bottom line. Nike is stuck in a PR mess, juggling A'ja Wilson's inflated image while Caitlin Clark's star power continues to soar. Spoiler alert, it's not working. The whole situation feels like a circus without a leader, and the chaos isn't slowing down anytime soon. But how is Caitlin dealing with all this? Remember when A'ja Wilson threw shade at other players, accusing them of having privilege?
It reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you.
Oh, the irony. A'ja Wilson has certainly put herself in an awkward spot, but the best part, Caitlin Clark's response is pure class, a mic drop moment that makes you want to applaud. The real difference between Caitlin and Aja isn't just about stats. It's about their approach and attitude, and the contrast couldn't be clearer.
People can get out and watch the W or watch the college game or whatever it is, the better it's going to be for the future of the game.
Aja Wilson is walking around like royalty, acting like the court is hers and everyone else is just lucky to be in her presence. Newsflash, Aja, no one owes you anything. That I'm the star attitude is getting old, like last year's leftovers. Now, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. She's breaking records and making history, but you'd never know it by the way she carries herself. Humble, grounded, always giving credit to her teammates. It's almost like she doesn't even realize she's the biggest name in women's basketball right now. And the best part, Caitlin isn't wasting time throwing shade or complaining about Nike. Instead, she's using her platform to lift up the entire WNBA. At a recent Nike event, she didn't make it about her, she said.
People that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe. Just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, there is real opportunity here, and there has been.
That's true leadership, vision, humility, and lifting others up, not just yourself. When things don't go Aja Wilson's way, she's quick to blame others, like a kid who didn't get their way at the candy store. After a tough game against the New York Liberty, she complained, "I just feel like we're not getting the calls we deserve." It's frustrating when you're playing hard and it feels like the reps aren't seeing it. Boo-hoo, Aja. Maybe try focusing on improving your game instead of pointing fingers at the refs.
So it goes hand in hand. That's it. And if I get fined for this, I'm terribly sorry, but it's ridiculous. We've been going through this all season, so everybody got to do their job.
Now, compare that to Caitlin Clark. She owns her mistakes with true professionalism. After a tough game, she's the first to say, "I need to step up for my team. I can't let them down like that. We win together, we lose together, and I take that responsibility seriously." That's what real leadership sounds like.
Caitlin, it's said that the best point guards are more worried about their teammates than they are about themselves. What do you like more, setting your teammates up or scoring the ball yourself?
Honestly, I think setting my teammates up, I think that just provides so much more energy to the team. It gets everybody going, and when everybody can touch the ball and get going in that way, I think it just everybody just flows a little bit better.
Now, let's look at how they treat their teammates. Aja Wilson acts like she's carrying the entire team on her shoulders, while Caitlin Clark is constantly lifting up her squad, saying things like, "I wouldn't be where I am without my teammates. They challenge me every day to be better, and I'm grateful for every single one of them." Can you see the difference? The bottom line, Aja Wilson's entitled attitude isn't gaining her fans, it's driving them away.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great, it looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's humility and accountability are attracting more fans to women's basketball than ever before. One fan summed it up perfectly. Caitlin is the kind of player you can't help but root for. She's incredibly talented, but she never forgets where she came from or who helped her along the way. And here's the thing, this difference in attitude isn't just about popularity, it's what shapes lasting careers. Sure, Aja may have the trophies for now, but Caitlin has earned the respect and admiration of the fans. In the end, that genuine connection, the real love from the people, is what truly counts.
I came to see Caitlin Clark tonight.
Oh, gotta watch number 22.
I've been watching Caitlin for a couple of years, and since then I've dreamed about coming to a game.
All right, let's put Aja's complaints aside for a moment and focus on someone who's actually changing the game. Caitlin Clark, she's not just playing basketball, she's rewriting the playbook. Let's talk numbers. Caitlin is packing arenas, drawing record-breaking crowds, and delivering incredible TV ratings. This isn't just about stats. Caitlin is single-handedly transforming women's basketball. When you look closely, her work ethic stands out. While Aja might be relaxing by the pool, Caitlin is living in the gym. Her practice isn't just a routine, it's a lifestyle. And her impact goes beyond the court. Caitlin is everywhere, connecting with fans, supporting her teammates, and elevating the entire sport of women's basketball to new heights.
I think that's what's so exciting. So the more we can continue to expand that and continue to have games on national television and get people in seats, because when they show up in a stadium, like, they're always coming back. That's usually how it works. They fall in love with a team or a player, or maybe they go for one player and then they, like another.
Caitlin Clark isn't just focused on herself. She's looking at the bigger picture, the entire sport of women's basketball and its fans. And they're loving every second of it. Caitlin's authenticity is magnetic, and it shows in her social media, which is blowing up with millions of followers eagerly awaiting each post. It's a sharp contrast to Aja's me-first attitude, and people are definitely noticing. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game as a player, she's setting a whole new standard for what it means to be a true role model in women's sports.
It makes me smile in return. Like, for me, I'm just myself. That's what I try to be. I try to just be a great role model for them, and I think it speaks to how I was raised as a kid. I've loved every second of playing sports, but also my parents always preach there's so much more to life than.
Here's a wild thought. What if everything we know about women's basketball is about to change completely? While Aja Wilson is busy trying to protect her legacy, Caitlin Clark is out there building an empire. And the difference? It couldn't be clearer. Let's break it down. This isn't just about two players anymore. It's about the future of the entire WNBA. Aja is stuck in a fantasy, thinking her MVP trophies will keep her relevant forever. Newsflash, Aja, they won't. The game is evolving faster than ever, and you're being left behind. Brands are scrambling to team up with Caitlin. Fans can't get enough of her. Even the men's league is starting to take notice of what she's bringing to the table. Why? Because Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a movement.